Hi everyone. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you. Today, I am going to deliver you the second lecture on chemical kinetics. In the last lecture, we have discussed some basic terms which are useful in chemical kinetics, such as definition of chemical kinetics, molecularity, order of reaction, and difference between order and molecularity. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss rate of reaction, units for rate of reaction, factors affecting on the reaction rate, then what is meant by rate law and how to apply rate law for various chemical reaction. So, let us begin with the first point, that is rate of reaction. In a chemical reaction, reactants are consumed and products are formed. The rate of chemical reaction describe how fast the reactants are consumed and products are formed. So, here the definition of rate of reaction, it is defined as the rate at which the concentration of the reactant decreases, or alternatively the rate at which the concentration of the product increases. So, here there are various definition of the rate of reaction. Amount of substance consumed or formed in a unit time, it is also called as rate of reaction, or the change per unit time in the concentration of reactant or product is called as rate of chemical reaction. If dc be the change in concentration of any reactant or any product during the time interval dt, then the rate may given as rate is equal to plus minus dc by dt. Here negative sign apply in case of reactant whose concentration goes on decreasing with time. Plus sign applies in case of product whose concentration goes on increasing with time. So, let us consider this graph. This is the graph concentration versus time. So, initially the concentration of the reactant is very high. As the reaction proceed further, there is a decrease in the concentration of the reactant, and finally when the reaction is completed for all practical purposes, at that time the concentration of reactant is equal to 0. Then here initially when the reaction is not started, at that time the concentration of the product is 0, but here when the concentration of the product increases, here the graph is also increases. So, as the reaction proceed further, the concentration of the product is increases, and here when the reaction is completed, practically this graph is constant. So, here this is the graph for the concentration versus time. Then the second point is unit of rate. Reaction rate has units of concentration divided by time. So, here when we consider any chemical reaction, generally the concentration of the reactant, it is expressed in terms of moles per liter, but the time may be given any convenient unit such as second, minutes, hours, days, or possible years. Therefore, unit of the reaction rate may be, it may be moles per liter per second when the time is given in the second. When the time is in minute, then it is a moles per liter per minute. When the time is in hours, then the unit is moles per liter per hour. So, friends, for the gaseous reaction, rate may be expressed as change in pressure in unit time. So, here the volume is constant. If the pressure is expressed in terms of the atmosphere, then for the gaseous reaction, the unit of the rate is atmosphere per unit. Then the third point is factors affecting the reaction rates. So, there are various factors which affect on the reaction rate. Let us consider one by one. The first factor, that is the concentration of the reactant, and it is observed that the rate of the chemical reaction, it is directly proportional to the concentration of the reactant. That means as we increase the concentration of the reactant, here the rate of the reaction is also increases. So, here this is the first factor which affect on the rate of reaction. Let us consider the second factor, that is the temperature. So, here the rate of chemical reaction increases with increase of temperature. Generally, here we can say that rate of the reaction is directly proportional to the temperature. In some chemical reaction, if we increase the temperature of a reactants by 10 degree Celsius, then here the such rate of such reaction may be double. So, this is the second factor. Then third factor is the presence of catalyst. All of you know that generally due to presence of catalyst, the rate of the reaction is increases. So, here a catalyst generally increases the speed of reaction without itself being consumed in the reaction. So, here if the rate of the reaction is increased due to presence of catalyst, then such a catalyst it is called as the positive catalyst, and if the rate of the reaction is decreased due to presence of catalyst, such a catalyst it is called as the negative catalyst, or it is also called as the inhibitors. So, let us consider two examples. The best example is the decomposition of potassium chlorate. So, here in the decomposition of potassium chlorate, we always use MnO2 is as a catalyst, and due to presence of MnO2, the rate of the decomposition of potassium chlorate is increased and there is a formation of oxygen gas. So, here MnO2 it is the positive catalyst. The second example, decomposition of H2O2, hydrogen peroxide. When the ethyl alcohol, small amount of ethyl alcohol is added in hydrogen peroxide, then the rate of the decomposition of the hydrogen peroxide is decreased. So, here when the hydrogen peroxide is decomposed, it is converted into water and there is evolution of the oxygen gas. So, here ethyl alcohol it is the negative catalyst. In hydrogen peroxide, if the platinum is added, so here because of platinum, the rate of the decomposition of the hydrogen peroxide is increased, and here the platinum is the positive catalyst. So, negative catalyst as well as the positive catalyst. Some of the reaction is catalyzed by one of the product of the reaction. Such a action is known as autocatalysis. That means, here when the chemical reaction proceed further or when the chemical reaction takes place, the one of the products form in the reaction, it is act as the catalyst, and the best example is oxidation of oxalic acid by acidified potassium permanganate. In this reaction, the product form it is act as the catalyst. So, such a reaction it is called as the autocatalysis. Then the fourth factor is the surface area of the reactant. So, here if the for a reaction involving solid reactant or catalyst, the smaller is the particle size, greater is the surface area and the faster is the reaction. Just to understand this concept, let us consider again two example. The first example is reaction between the zinc and dilute HCl. So, here if we use the zinc powder at that time, the rate of this reaction is the very high, and such reaction is the fast reaction. Instead of zinc powder, if we use the zinc granules at that time, the rate of the reaction is it is very small, and such a reaction it is the slow reaction. Here let us consider the difference. If the zinc powder is used, such a reaction is the fast reaction. If the zinc granules are used, then such a reaction is the slow reaction, because here when the zinc powder is used, the more surface area of the zinc it is available for the chemical reaction. So, that here we can say that smaller is the particle size, greater is the reaction rate. So, these are the four factors which affect on the rate of chemical reaction. Then the next point is the rate law. According to the law of mass action, at constant temperature, the rate of chemical reaction is proportional to the concentration of the reactant. So, let us consider a general reaction A which gives product. So, as per law of mass action, rate is directly proportional to concentration of A. So, here the rate is equal to dx by dt or dc by dt, that is the change in concentration of A with respect to T, it is directly proportional to concentration of A. So, here dx by dt is equal to k into concentration of A. This is the equation number 1, and in the equation number 1 the constant k, it is very important in chemical kinetics, and it is called as the rate constant or velocity constant or velocity coefficient. So, here expression 1 tell the relation between the rate of reaction and the reactant concentration. If the concentration of A is unity, then here we can write concentration of A or Ca is equal to 1, then rate is equal to K. So, here an expression which shows how the reaction rate is related to the concentration is called as rate law or rate equation, or the mathematical relation between the rate of the reaction and concentration of the reaction component is known as rate equation or the rate law expression for the reaction. So, let us consider again some examples. Here the combination or the reaction between the hydrogen and iodine, there is a formation of twice Hi. Here by applying the law of mass action, here we can write the rate law expression. Rate is equal to K, concentration of H2, concentration of hydrogen and concentration of iodine. Then the second example, that is a decomposition of nitrous oxide. So, here rate is equal to K, concentration of nitrous oxide raised to 2. So, these are the two expression for the rate law for these two chemical reaction. So, here in the rate law expression, only those reactants appear whose concentration undergo measurable change during the reaction. This is very important in chemical kinetics. When we have to write the rate expression or the rate law expression for the chemical reaction, we have to consider this point. So, here in the rate law expression, only those reactants appear whose concentration undergo measurable change during the reaction. That is, the change in concentration of the reactant, it should be measurable, or there must be the appreciable change in the concentration of the reactant. Then important of velocity constant K lies in the fact that it can be used to compare the fast or the slow character of the reaction. So, here thus by comparing the value of velocity constant at temperature, we can get an idea about the relative fast or slow character of the reaction. That means, here from the value of the K, here we can identify whether the reaction is a slow reaction or it is a fast reaction. Then here the rate constant of the reaction, it depends mainly on the particular reaction under consideration, and secondly the temperature during the reaction, it is independent of the concentration of the reactant. Friends, so in the first lecture we have discussed the basic terms in the chemical kinetics. There are two more terms which are useful in the chemical kinetics, and the first term is the zero reading. Reading taken immediately after mixing the reactant, that reading is called as the zero reading. Suppose here in the chemistry laboratory we have to perform the experiment of hydrolysis of the ester. In one bottle ester is taken, in the second bottle dilute HCl is taken. When we mix the ester with dilute HCl, the reading taken immediately, that reading it is called as the zero reading. Then the second is the infinity reading. So, it is the reading taken at infinite time. So, infinite time means the time at which the reaction is complete for all practical purposes. Let us consider the again above example, that is the hydrolysis of the ester, the mixture of ester and dilute HCl. So, here when the reaction is completed and the reading taken after that, that reading it is called as the infinity reading. So, in chemical kinetics, the zero reading and the infinity reading, these two terms are also very important. And the last point, that is the zero order reaction. So, all of you know that order of reaction, it is denoted by symbol n. So, here n is equal to 0, and here the zero order reaction is one whose rate is independent of concentration. That is, the rate of such reaction is not depend on the concentration of any reactant. Such reactions are called as the zero order reaction. So, here we are going to derive the expression for the velocity constant for the zero order reaction, as well as we are going to discuss the characteristic feature for the zero order reaction. So, let us consider a general reaction A which gives product. So, here just by applying the rate law or the law of mass action, here we can write the rate is equal to dx by dt is equal to k0. This is the equation number 1, or rate is equal to minus dca by dt is equal to k0. Friends, here in chemical kinetics, when we derive the expression for the velocity constant for zero order reaction, first order reaction, second order reaction or third order reaction, here the three terms are very important. That is the first term, small a. So small a is the initial concentration of the reactant A. So, here A which gives product, and the initial concentration of this A is the small a. Then second term is the x. X moles of the reactant react in time t. Suppose here reaction is carried out for 5 minutes. Then in 5 minutes, so x moles of the reactant A react in time 5 minutes. Then third term, that is a minus x. A minus x is the concentration of the unreacted reactant A after time t. So, here the A, x and A minus x, these are the very important terms in chemical kinetics. So, here the rate is equal to minus dCA by dt. Minus dCA by dt means the change in concentration of A with respect to t. So, here minus dCA by dt is equal to here minus dA minus x divided by dt. So, here the A minus x is the concentration of the unreacted reactant A after time t, or it is the concentration of the reactant A after time t. That is why it is a minus dA minus x divided by dt. So, here the let us consider minus dA by dt. So, minus dA by dt. A is the initial concentration, it is a constant term, and we know that the derivative of the constant term, it is always equal to 0. So, here the minus dA by dt, this term it is equal to 0. So, here there is a minus sign, here there is a minus sign, minus will be plus, that is a dx by dt, and here the dx by dt is equal to rate. So, here the rate is equal to minus dA by dt is equal to dx by dt. So, in next, for first order, second order as well as for the third order reaction, so for rate we are going to use the term dx by dt. So, dx by dt is the rate, and in this expression k0 is called as the rate constant for the zero order reaction. The expression for the rate constant for k0, it is derived as follows. The equation 1 can be rearranged in this way, that is dx is equal to k0 into dt. So, here we have to integrate the equation by using the proper limit. So, here x is equal to 0 to x is equal to x. So, k0 it is a written out of the integral sign because it is a constant, and all of you know that the constant is always written out of integral sign. Integration of dt from 0 to t. So, integration of dx is x from the limit 0 to x, k0, then integration of dt is t from the limit 0 to t. First substitute the upper limit, then substitute the lower limit. So, x0 minus x is equal to k0 in bracket t minus t0, and here x is equal to k0 into t, and finally, the expression for velocity constant for the zero order reaction, it is equal to k0 is equal to x by t. So, this is the expression for velocity constant for the zero order reaction. Then the next point, characteristics of the zero order reaction. So, the first characteristic is the nature of the graph. By considering the equation 3, that is expression for velocity constant k0 is equal to x by t, this expression can be rearranged, x is equal to k0 into t. This is the form of y is equal to mx. So, here we know that we always plot the graph y versus x. So, here value of the y is x and value of the x is t. So, plot the graph of x versus t, and the nature of the graph is straight line passing through the origin. Determine the slope of the line, and the slope is equal to K0, because here x is equal to K0 into t, y is equal to mx, the value of the m is K0. So, after plotting the graph x by t, determine the slope of the line, and slope is equal to K0. So, graphically we can determine the value of the velocity constant for the zero order reaction. The second characteristic feature is the half life period. So, half life period defined as the time required to reduce the concentration of the reactant to half of its initial value, and it is denoted by the symbol T1 half. That means here half of the reactant will be consumed and half of the reactant will be remain unconsumed. So, whatever time is required, that time it is called as the half life period, and it is denoted by symbol T1 half. So, let us calculate half life period for the zero order reaction. So, here when the T is equal to T1 half, and we know that A is the initial concentration of the reactant, so that A by 2 moles of the reactant get consumed, leaving behind A by 2 moles of A unreacted, and here this is the x. So, x is equal to K0 into T1 half. So, but x is equal to A by 2. So, A by 2 is equal to K0 into T1 half. So, by rearranging the expression, we can write T1 half is equal to A upon twice K0, or A divided by twice K0. This is the expression for the half life period for the zero order reaction, and from this expression here we can say that half life period of zero order reaction is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant. And the last point, that is the unit of rate constant, that is a K0. So, here the expression of velocity constant for the zero order reaction, K0 is equal to x by t, and all of you know that x is the concentration term, t is the time. So, here the concentration divided by time. Generally concentration is expressed in terms of moles per liter. So, the unit for the rate constant for zero order reaction, it is a moles per liter into time inverse. When the time is expressed in the second, we can say that moles per liter second inverse. When the time is in minute, we can say that moles per liter minute inverse. So, lastly, let us consider the few example of the zero order reaction. Zero order reactions, usually the reaction taking place with the help of some external agency like catalyst, light, and supersonic vibration. Thus, zero order reaction occur only under some special circumstances. Most of the zero order reaction takes place at metal surface. So, the first example is decomposition of hydrogen iodide at the gold surface. So, gold act as the catalyst. At high pressure, the rate of the reaction become 0. And the best example of the zero order reaction is photochemical combination of hydrogen and chlorine, H2 plus Cl2 in presence of sunlight. There is a formation of HCl. It is the best example of the zero order reaction. There are two more examples. Bromination of acetone in acid solution with respect to bromine, it is a zero order reaction. And the last example, decomposition of ammonia on the surface of hot tungsten wire is zero order reaction. So, these are the some examples of the zero order reaction. Friends, in today's lecture, we have discussed the various points of the chemical kinetics, such as rate of reaction, unit for the rate of reaction, factors affecting the reaction rate, rate law, how to apply the rate law for the chemical reaction, and here the zero order reaction, expression for the velocity constant for zero order reaction, characteristic feature for the zero order reaction, and some example of the zero order reaction. Thank you.